Walkthrough and tests of Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro. This is an AI-driven vocal synthesizer, and if I'm completely honest and upfront, I know nothing at all about vocal synthesis. So rather than doing a review, I'll walk through the product and do some tests, and then you can decide yourself what you think. Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro is made by a firm called Dreamtonics, and they're based in Japan. And if you want to find out more about Dreamtonics and about this particular piece of software, you can do so by visiting www.dreamtonics.com. We'll take another look at their website later in this video, as because Synthesizer V is software, this whole video is going to be produced using screen capture software. The name Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro is quite a mouthful, so to save me having to repeat it during this video, I'll just call it Synthesizer V. But you'll know what I mean when I say that. Right, to start with, let's just take a look at Synthesizer V and some of the things you need to be aware of when buying it. Because this isn't as straightforward as just buying a software package and off you go. There are things to consider, and it's good to be aware of them before you buy the package. The very basic Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro package includes the software and the choice of one voice, which you can select from 3. When you buy Synthesizer V, you get the standalone version as well as the plugins. And the plugins are VST3, AU, AAX, and ARA. So it should run with virtually any DAW. For anyone who's new to making music, a DAW is a digital audio workstation, and it's used to record and edit both music and general audio. If you're not sure it's what you're looking for, or if it'll work on your system, you can download and try Synthesizer V for 14 days. When you install Synthesizer V, it comes with no voices. And if you've bought Synthesizer V, you've got the one of 3 voices. And you can try each voice for 7 days first before you decide which one you want to keep. And once you've decided which voice you want to keep, you simply activate the license of that voice. The 3 voices you've got to choose between are 2 female voices and a male voice. The first of the 3 voices is Mia 2, which is described as a Japanese female voice. The second of the 3 voices is Liam, who's a male classic pop, rock, country and western voice. The third voice is Mo Hugh, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, who's a female voice, R&B, neo-soul and pop. Now, the description tells us what language the voices are native in. However, in Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro, the languages are cross-lingual, which means you can use any voice in any language. Whilst the choice of voices to get you started is quite limited at 1 of 3, the number of voices you can choose from in the future to expand the package is immense. On the website, there must be over 100 voices listed. In fact, the choice of voices available to buy is quite overwhelming. And if you're spending your hard-earned cash on a voice or 2, you could probably spend hours looking for the right one for you. And whilst they've given some of the voices anime characters to give you an idea what they're about, You get far more information by clicking on each voice and reading the descriptions. There you'll find more information about the voice, including the genres, etc. Plus, there's a good selection of sample sounds, so you can hear how the voice can sound and how it can be used.
You'll never see me. You wouldn't understand my world if you could be me. Are you the only one who holds the key to...
And you can hear variations on the voice.
Well, is this the real me? Will I have all the everything I can be? Maybe I need someone to show me.
Right, I'll just try one of the male voices to give you more variety. So, to summarise my thoughts on the collection of voices, there's lots of them, and you've got lots of ways of hearing how they sound, including the 7-day trial. Going back to navigating the store then, the package we're looking at today is the Synthesizer V Studio 2 Pro. And there's two options for buying this. You can either just buy the software with the free voice, or you can buy the standard software with the free voice plus a second voice that you can choose later. This works out cheaper if you're thinking of buying a second voice straight away. And I'm happy to say that you do actually buy the product, so you're not paying for a monthly or yearly subscription for something you might not use very much. Right, let's take a look at the standalone application. Thankfully, there's no surprises in the user interface. It's got exactly the look and feel you'd expect from software of this type. And I'm using it in Windows 10 11, so if you were to use it in Mac, it would have a slightly different feel in the menus, but you'd expect that. To keep things simple for the sake of this video, I'm going to cut the user interface into 5 different sections. The standard top menus, the transport control, the tracks, the main editing area, and there's a bank of 5 buttons down the right hand side. With the experiments I did, I found I didn't need to use the top menu at all. I found everything I needed was behind the 5 buttons on the right hand side. So I'd say those 5 buttons were quite important. I've done some tests and had a mess around with the standalone app, and I'm really pleased with the results. I'll play the results first, and then I'll explain how I got to that point afterwards. Personally, I think that sounds pretty good, and it will sound better. I'll explain why later in the video, but first I'll just explain how I created that test. The first thing I wanted to do was import the backing track, which I'd already prepared as a WAV file. I tried to import it, but it wouldn't have it. So I tried importing it as a track, and it still wouldn't have it. So as a last ditch attempt, I tried dropping the file straight onto the tracks, and sure enough, it imported it straight away and created a new track for the backing. And whilst that was nice and easy, this was my first mistake, because really I should have set the tempo of the project to the tempo of the backing before I imported it. But never mind, this is a lesson learned. Once I had the backing track imported, I could just scroll along to where I want the singing to start, and I could draw in the notes. And if I make any mistakes, they're easily corrected, deleted, or altered. And before you've selected a voice, you get a basic idea of how the tune will sound because it's got a basic synthesizer tone. And here's where we introduce the buttons down the right hand side. If we click on the top one, which is the microphone, you can see we've got the select a voice and a number of parameters to adjust to do with the voice. However, these aren't activated yet until I've loaded a voice. So, looking behind the select a voice menu, you'll see there's a voice that came with the application, plus 2 more that are available to buy. From this menu, as well as being able to use the voices you've already installed, you can also look through all the voices that are for sale, so you can try and buy from within the software. Anyhow, I'm selecting Liam. And you can see, once you select a voice, a waveform is rendered underneath the notes in the editing area, and a whole set of voice adjustments become active in the right hand panel, so you can edit the voice to get it exactly how you want it. Whilst we're looking at the right hand tabs, I'll open up the next 3 so you can take a look what's in them. The first tab we've already looked at. It's where you can select the voice and edit it to how you want it. The second tab allows you to select between singing and rap. It also allows you to adjust the expression in the singing, and also you can do AI retakes here, which is a really clever feature. With the tests I did of the AI retake buttons, I just pressed the retake all button, and I did this several times, and I don't know what it did exactly, but the difference was noticeable. It really did improve the singing and make it sound more realistic. But it'll also store a number of retakes, so you can go through them and compare them to get exactly what you're looking for. The third tab is the dictionary tab, which I didn't actually use, so I'll have to take a look at this in a future video. The fourth tab is one you'll probably use a lot, and it's the render tab, and this allows you to export your finished work in whatever format you want. And something I wasn't expecting but I found really useful is the fact that you can export the voice and the aspiration separately. The aspiration being the sound of airflow and breathing. And by exporting them separately and then importing them into a multitrack and balancing between the two, you have even more control over the sound of the finished voice. Here's the test track I did. The top track is the voice and the bottom track is the aspiration. I'll bring the aspiration in very slowly so you can hear the difference it makes. and then I'll play just the aspiration on its own so you can hear what it is and what it sounds like.
See the sunrise. One more day. Two hearts are broken. No way back down. No way. No way back down. No way.
Just the aspiration by itself sounds really creepy. It sounds like something you might find in a horror film, or something ghost hunters might get using EVP. But you can see that being able to adjust the balance between the voice and the aspiration gives you so much more control over the voice, so you can get exactly what you want. So far, from those right hand buttons, we've looked at the top 4. There's 2 more to look at. The top one is the cloud button, and this allows you to connect to their website and your account, so you can manage your licenses, or you can take a look at all the available voices, and you can try and buy new voices from here. The last button is all the settings for the program, so you might have to open this when you first install the software so you can set it up to your system, and of course your preferences. Right, I'll just do another very simple demonstration, and this time, rather than drawing the notes in, I'll record them using a MIDI keyboard. Because Synthesizer V supports either importing MIDI files or recording straight into the software. After I've finished the recording, Studio V will quantize it, which means it snaps it to the closest beat to make sure it's in time. I'm doing some editing anyway, just to show you how easy it is. Now, here's what that sounds like using the 3 voices I've got installed. Firstly, Hayden 2.
La 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 la.
Then Liam.
La 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 la.
And finally, Natalie.
La 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 la.
To insert lyrics, you can just click on the note and type in whatever lyrics you want. I'm being really imaginative here and just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One, two, three, four, five.
I'll just play around with some of the parameters now behind the first tab so you can hear what they do to the sound. I'll just create a looped playback first, so I don't have to keep stopping and rewinding the recording.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2.
You can really hear the difference the parameters make to the voice. And some of them sound really good. Some of them can make it sound really unnatural, but still in a useful way if you write dance music. Using the same loop, let's take a look at what effect the different parameters have behind the Notes tab. The first thing I've noticed about the changes to the voice and the notes is that the voice affects the whole recording, whereas the notes affects only the selected notes. So if you just select one note, it'll only affect that one note. I'll select all the notes as we want to listen to the full effect.
1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3.
The effects on the singing you get from the Notes tab are quite subtle compared to the effects you get in the Voice tab. However, they're more useful if you're trying to invoke emotions, or if, for example, you want to put an emphasis on something like a chorus. And the AI is very clever. It alters the sound in a way that I can't really describe, but you can definitely hear the difference between the takes. And having multiple takes, it gives you the ability to go through the different takes and choose your favourite. So the AI isn't taking control out of your hands. Here's some of the simple changes I've learnt during the brief period I've had Synthesizer V that make it sound more realistic again. How close the notes are to one another, or if they're joined, makes a big difference to the way the singing sounds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll join the notes together.
One, two, three, four, 5.
Now I'll separate all but the last two notes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Finally, I'll separate all the notes.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you can see it's worth playing around with the score to get it just right. Something that's pretty obvious to most people, but I'll mention here anyway, is getting the voice right or true to its range. If you have a voice too high or too low, it just sounds wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Something else I discovered is the fact that there are control symbols or letters, which you add to the lyrics and they change the way it's sang. So for example, if you create a note and type BR in as a lyric, this will cause it to take a breath. So, taking the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The first thing I'll do is create some spaces to put the breaths into. Now I insert the notes and put BR as the lyric. I'll put a breath at the end because it might sound more realistic if she finishes with a breath. Let's hear what that sounds like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll get rid of the breath at the end and extend the breath at the beginning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can't really hear the breath at the beginning, so I'll try shortening it and lengthening it.
1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The breaths, whilst they're subtle, they add a whole new level of realism to the singing. I'll take the project back to where it was at the beginning, but this time I'll insert one word and extend it over the 5 notes using the plus symbol. And I'll use the word academy, as it was the first word that sprung to mind.
Academy, academy, academy.
You can obviously use multiple symbols in one phrase, so I'll add the breath now.
Academy, Academy.
Right, I'll try a vowel now with the minus sign, because it should extend it over multiple notes. And if it works, it could be a real time saver. Let's see what happens if I put a word in there. Let's see if it'll pick up on a plus symbol at the end. Right, I'll take the project back to the beginning again with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this time I'll try doing it with actual numbers to see if it pronounces them.
One.
No, it doesn't recognise the numbers, but it was a worthwhile experiment.
One, two, three, four.
Something odd has happened to the 2 now, and I'm not quite sure what.
One, two, three, four.
I think for a quick solution to this, I'd go back to the beginning, draw the notes in, and type in the numbers again. But this isn't important for now.
One, two, three, four. One, two, three, one, two, three, four.
Right, let's try a single quote, which causes a glottal stop.
One, two, three, four.
I'll put another one in, see how that sounds.
One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four.
Finally, I'll just have a try of the AI retake function.
One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four.
Basically, I think the tools they've given you are more than enough for you to improve your song until you're happy with the way it sounds. The other things I discovered are pretty obvious, but I discovered these from within the door. When you're putting it with a backing track, it's a good idea to play with the EQ so you match it with the backing track. So for example, if the backing track is a little bit bassy, try to reflect this in the singing. Or if the backing track is a little trebly, try to reflect this in the singing. Also, I found if you put a little bit of reverb on the singing, it makes it sound that little bit more realistic. Here's the finished song of that test I played at the beginning of this video. Hopefully it'll sound more realistic to you. Personally, I think this sounds amazing. And if you're a songwriter without a singer, I think this is a great solution. Or if you're a songwriter who's got a singer but has difficulty expressing what they want from the song to the singer, this is a great solution for that as well. In this video, I've really touched just the tip of the iceberg of what Synthesizer V is capable of. So I'm going to have to make another video in the future using a female voice and a different genre of music. Something I've learnt from making this video is that the longer you spend with Synthesizer V, the more you learn and the better you become at using it. And you can probably find some of the best tutorials for Synthesizer V on the Dreamtonics website. I'll put some links down below in the description to the Dreamtonics website, so you can take a good look for yourself. Anywho, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, or if you want to see the follow-up video, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon, and then you'll be notified when I upload the next video. And I have to give a really special thank you to my channel members, because without their help I wouldn't be able to keep making new videos. And finally, if you're looking for free guitar lessons or more music content, take a look at my YouTube channel or visit www.ebooks4guitar.com. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.